Hello friends, welcome to our new session in the control engineering for BE 7th semester undergraduates of mechanical engineering. In this module 3, that is transient response under Roche stability criterion for a control system, we are going to solve some more numericals. Let's take one more example. Here in the example 2, we are going to examine the stability of a f of s equal to s cube plus 4s square plus s plus 16 equal to 0. When we compare this one with the standard general equation, we get here s cube's coefficient is 1, so it is a naught equal to 1. S square's coefficient is 4, so a1 is equal to 4, and s coefficient is 1, so you will be writing 1, and s to the power 0's coefficient is 16, so that is a3 is equal to 16. So we got this one. Based on these coefficients, we are going to prepare the Routh's array. Routh's array we started from s to the power n. So n here is 3, the highest order is 3, so s to the power 3. Then we are having s to the power n minus 1, that is 2, s to the power n minus 2, that is 1, and we are going to get s 0th row. Okay, so for filling the first row, we use the coefficients here, that is a naught, that is 1, we are going to write. Then go to e2, this is 1, write the next coefficient here. Then we are not having any coefficients after this, so we don't have anything here, leave it blank. Then we are having the a1, that is equal to 4, fill it here. Then after that we are having the next coefficient, that is all odd coefficients has to be filled, so here we are having the 16. So we got the direct values of S3 and S2 row. Now coming to S1th row, to fill the S1th row, what you have to do is you have to multiply 4 with 1, so you will be getting 4, and minus 1 into 16, 1 into 16, that is minus 16 whole divided by 4, whole divided by 4. So 4 minus 16 divided by 4, that will be equal to minus 3. So that has to be filled here, minus 3. Then we have to go for the next column to fill this particular part. When we see here, we don't have any terms here, so it will be 0. So hence here we are going to fill it as 0. So S1th row is filled with minus 3 and minus 0. Coming to S0th row. For S0th row, we have to concentrate on S2 and S1th row. So multiply 3 with 16, minus 3 into 16, and minus of 4 into 0, whole divided by minus 3. So it can be done. I'll show here. Minus 3 into 16 minus 4 into 0 whole divided by this term itself only, minus 3. So 4 into 0, this will be 0. Okay, then minus 3 and minus 3 get cancels, remains with plus 16. So hence we will fill this one as plus 16, plus 16. So after getting these columns all of the array filled, next what we have to do is we have to check for the sign changes. for checking of the sign changes, we have to concentrate on the first column of the routes array. The first column of the routes array is having elements such as +1, +4 and -3 and +16. So +1 to +4 no sign changes, plus only. But from +4 to next when we see it is -3, there is one sign change, okay. And from -3 to +16 there is another sign change, minus to plus, so there is a second sign change which is happening. So where you have to observe in the first column only we have to observe. So plus to minus, minus to plus, these are the two sign changes. Hence, as there are two sign changes in the first column, so system is said to be unstable, so it is going to be called as unstable. Now number of routes which are going to be on the unstable, that is a right half of a S-plane. So if this is a plane, where we are having the real part and we are having the imaginary part. So we know that on the right side of this plane we are going to have the unstable. Now how many routes are going to lie on the right half of a S-plane? So that will be equal to number of sign changes. Here we are having number of sign changes as 2. So the routes which are going to lie on the right half of S-plane will be equal to 2. Let's take one more example. So here in this problem, examine stability of f of s is equal to s to the power 5, 2s to the power 4, 3s cube plus 6x square plus 2s plus 1. Here n is equal to 5. So we'll prepare the routes array. So coefficient of here n is equal to 5. So s5, s4, s3, s2, s1 and s0. Now coefficient of s to the power 5, that is 1 here. So you are going to write here 1. Then next s to the power 3, that is 3. Coefficient 3 we are going to write for this one. Then next for s, the coefficient is 2, we are going to write here. Next we don't have anything, so it is going to be left back. Next later for a s0th row, we are going to have the coefficient here 2. We are going to write here 2. Then you have already written. Next one, write it for this one, that is 6. Next for this element, that is 1. So to fill S3, what we have to do is we have to multiply the S4th and S5th and get the S3rd. How to do? 2 multiplied by 3, that is 6, minus 1 multiplied by 6, that is also 6, whole divided by 2. 6 minus 6 will be equal to 0, so divided by 2, here you will be getting the value as 0 itself only. I will show here. So first 2 multiplied by 3 minus 1 multiplied by 6 whole divided by 2 you have to do. So the answer what you will get will be equal to 0. That is what you are going to write. Next, coming to the next one, 2 multiplied by 2. So 2 multiplied by, I will write it next to here, 2 multiplied by 2 minus 1 into 1 whole divided by 2 only. So minus 1 into 1 whole divided by 2. So here 4 minus 1, that is equal to 3. 3 divided by 2, that is equal to 1.5 or 3 by 2. That is also okay. So we'll write here 1.5. Next, we don't have any column here to multiply here, so hence this will be 0. But when we observe this one, here we can see in a row we are having two elements which are going to be 0. So this is a special case 1, where roots array is going to get failed. How it is going to get failed, let me show you. So now when you are going to multiply for the next s2th row, so for this one what you have to do, 0 multiplied by 6, that will be 0, minus 2 into 1.5, that will be 3, whole divided by 0. So when we do that one, so it will be infinity. So this all will be infinity. So what we got, we can't proceed now. Now we can't proceed here. So hence what will happen, this one we call it as a special case. So in the special case 1, the first element of the rows of the root array is 0. Here the first element will be, first element will be 0. Okay, the first element will be 0 in a special case 1, and the same remaining row contains, means in the same row it will contain at least one non-zero element. There will be one non-zero element. So then we call it as a special case type of a problem. So hence the event, in this event the terms in the new row becomes infinite and root test is going to fail. So this is one of the disadvantage of this root stability criterion. Then how to solve this problem? So to solve this problem, what we bring a small constant element, that is epsilon. So we call this one as a epsilon method also. Okay, let's see how to solve this one. So taking the same problem, following there are two methods used to remove this difficulty. First method, substituting a small positive number, that is epsilon, in place of 0 occurred at the first element in the row, and then complete the array with this number, that is epsilon. So or a small e also we write here. Then examine the sign changes by considering the above example. So what we do, we fill the same one here, 1, so 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 2, 6, 1. Now where we had 0, no, there we have replaced it by epsilon. Okay, here 1.5 was there, that is going to be 1.5. Here 0, it is going to be 0. No change in this one. Only we are going to introduce one epsilon here in the first column of this one, first column of the S0th row, where we had 0 here in place. Next, to fill S2, to fill this S2 row, what we have to do is, here we are going to multiply this epsilon into 6 minus 2 into 1.5 whole divided by epsilon. So 6 multiplied by epsilon will be 6 epsilon, minus 2 into 1.5 will be 3 whole divided by epsilon. You will be getting 6 epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon. Okay, to fill the next one, to fill this one, what you do, epsilon multiplied by 1, so it will be epsilon, minus 2 into 0, that will be 2 into 0, that will be 0 whole divided by epsilon. So we'll be having epsilon cancels, you'll be getting 1. I'll show you how we got epsilon multiplied by 1 minus 2 into 0, 2 into 0 whole divided by epsilon itself. So 2 into 0, this will be 0. This epsilon get cancels. You will be getting remaining with 1 only. So here we are going to get 1. Next, coming to the next row to be filled, we don't have anything in this column here, so hence it will be 0. Next, to go for the S1th row to be filled, so what we have to do, we have to work on a S3 row and the next one S2 row. This one we have to work. For that, multiply 6 epsilon minus 3 by epsilon with 1.5 minus epsilon into 1 whole divided by 6 epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon. That's what has been done here. So 1.5, so this is 1.5 into 6 epsilon minus 3 minus epsilon into 1, that is minus epsilon, whole divided by 6 epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon. Here we are going to get. Next, to fill this part, we multiply 6 epsilon minus 3 by epsilon to 0, so it will be 0. Then minus epsilon into 0, 0. So there we came to know that it will be 0. So next term we don't have anything, so it will be kept blank or it will be put as a hyphen. Coming to the S0th row, that is this one, to fill. So what we do, this whole term has to be multiplied by diagonal term, that is 1. So it will be same, and this one multiplied by 0 or divided by itself. So when we are multiplying this one with 1 and or dividing by itself, this one will get cancelled. S0 will be remaining as 1 itself only. So this is what we are going to get in this particular column. Okay. Now next what we have to do is, using this column, from there elements whatever we had we are going to take. So to find out the sign changes, to examine the sign changes. So let's take the first element, that is limit 6 we had earlier, 6 epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon. So in the previous slide if you can see, 6 epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon, as we apply limits. Epsilon is a small value, I told you epsilon is a very small value, so it is tending towards 0, not 0 but tending towards 0. So epsilon tending to 0, hence put wherever epsilon is there, put it at 0. So 6 into 0 0 minus 3 divided by 0, that is here. So it will be 6 minus, here epsilon value is very small. So as here before this one, sorry to just a minute. So here we are going to apply limit for the first term, that is 6 epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon, which we have seen it in our previous slide. So epsilon is tending towards 0, very small value, it is nearer to 0. So first to simplify this one, so we can write this one as 6 epsilon by epsilon minus 3 divided by epsilon. So here this epsilon get cancels, so we will be getting 6 minus 3 divided by epsilon. So minus 3 divided by epsilon value is very near to 0. This is 3 divided by 0. So what it will be? It will be equal to infinity. So here what we get? We get 6 minus infinity. So infinity is a very large value. From there if you deduct 6, so it will be very larger value itself only. So what we get? We get the value as minus infinity. But here we get a minus infinity sign. So here this sign is negative. Next, after this element in the first column, this element was there in the first column. Next we go for the next element in the first column. All the first column elements only we see. So we had 1.5, 6 epsilon minus 3 minus epsilon square divided by 6 epsilon minus 3. So what we do? We have to apply limit as epsilon tends to 0. So when simplifying, so 1.5 into 6, so it will be 9 epsilon. 1.5 into 3, it will be minus 4.5, then minus epsilon square or divided by 6 epsilon minus 3. So here we can't simplify here like what we did. What we are supposed to do is put epsilon is equal to 0 in this part. So when I put epsilon is equal to 0 here, so 9 into 0 it will be 0. Then 4.5 minus 4.5, epsilon square will be 0, so it will be 0. Here epsilon is equal to 0, 6 into 0, 0, and it will be 3. So we get minus 4.5 by minus 3, so it will be value of here minus minus get cancelled, so 4.5 divided by 3, so we'll be getting 1.5. So this is a positive sign. So this is a positive sign. Then later what we did, I told you we had these terms. We had these terms in our previous column. That itself only we will rewrite. So we are having S5 1, 3, 2 and 2, 6 and 1. Where 0 was there, we had changed it to epsilon. So we had changed it to epsilon. Then we had return 1.5 as it is and 0. Next, after substituting epsilon is equal to 0 in this first column, that is this one is for in the S2th row first column, it was S2th row first column this was. So from there we got it, and we got the value that one is equal to minus infinity. We got the value of this one is minus infinity. One is like that itself only 0. So these columns don't change. Whatever is there in these columns, keep it there like that itself only. Only change will be wherever epsilon was there in the first column, there we are going to change. Then in S1th row and the first column we had this element, So substituting epsilon equal to 0, we got the value as plus 1.5. Hence right here plus 1.5. Plus 1.5. The remaining will be 0 itself only. Then S0 we had 1. So here we can see there are sign changes. Here positive to negative. So one sign change, positive to negative here. So there is positive sign here, there is a negative sign, one sign change. Then from negative to positive, so there is another sign change, second sign change. So from negative to positive. Then positive to positive, no sign changes. Here there are, we observe that in this one there are two sign changes. One is from plus epsilon to minus infinity and minus infinity to plus 1.5. So after examining the sign changes, we can write the statement that there are two sign changes, hence the system is going to be unstable. And here we are having totally 5 roots. Out of that, 2 roots are going to lie on the right hand side of the S plane. So other 3 roots are going to lie on the left hand side of the S plane. Okay, understood? Let's solve another example. So in this example, we are told to examine the stability of a given transfer function f of s equal to s to the power 6, 2s to the power 5, 8s to the power 4, 12s cube, 20s square plus 16s plus 16 equal to 0. So first prepare the rows array. Here for from the equation, direct row which we can fill is s to the power 6 because the order is 6 here. So coefficient of this one is 1. So we will fill 1. Then next 8, here 8. Next 20, 20. Next 16, 16. Then later for s to the power n minus 1, that is s5, we are going to fill the coefficient of s to the power 5, that is 2, 2, then 12, 12, then 16, 16. Next we don't have 0, so it is 0. Next, using S5 row and S6 row, we are going to fill a S4th row. To fill S4th row, what we do? 2 multiplied by 8 minus 1 into 12 divided by 2. So it will be equal to 16, 16 minus 12 divided by 2, that will be equal to 4 divided by 2, that will be equal to 2. Similarly for this one, for filling out the next element, 2 multiplied by 20, 40, 1 multiplied by 16 minus 16 divided by 2. So it will be 12. We are going to get it. 40 minus 16 divided by 2, we get 12. Next, for next filling for this one, 2 multiplied by 16, then 1 multiplied by 0 whole divided by 2. So it will be 16 2 divided by 2. 2 get cancelled. You will get 16. So you will get this one. Similarly, for next element we are having 0. So we will write it 0 or leave it blank. Next for filling is 3. How we go? 2 multiplied by 12 minus 2 multiplied by 12. So we will get 24 minus 24 0. So it will be 0 itself only here. Then 2 multiplied by 16 and minus 2 multiplied by 16. So hence here also we got a 0 term here. Then next one we will be getting 0. So this is here we can see that in a S0th row all the elements are going to be 0. Hence for the next term cannot be continued. Here the special case 2, that is rows array, is going to be getting filled. So what we see here is all the elements of the row in the rows array are 0. So all these elements are 0. So the terms of the next row cannot be determined and the rows test is going to fail. Now how to solve this problem? How to continue with this problem? For that we apply the auxiliary equation part for this problem. Let's see how it can be solved. So we will prepare the array. After getting the same array we have prepared, after getting S third row, this is the third row 0 0, what we do is we take the auxiliary equation of the previous row, that is the S4th row. This row we take the auxiliary equation. How we take auxiliary equation? 2 into S to the power 4, then 12 into S to the power 2 plus 16. So like that we take. So here auxiliary equation AS equal to 2 into S to the power 4 and 12 into S to the power 2. So we had here. So from there we are going to take. So here 12 into S to the power 2 plus 16. So this one. So 12 into S square plus 16. This is the equation. Next, differentiate the y equation with respect to S. Means this one differentiate with respect to S. So we'll get 8s cube plus 12s. Then equate it to 0. So equate this one equal to 0. Differentiating with respect to S and equating it to 0. Then what you are going to do? You are going to prepare the new table. Using this one you are going to prepare the S3 new table. New table you are going to prepare. So how you are going to prepare? S cube we are going to write. Then the coefficient of this one is 8. Write it 8 here. This is 8 right here. Next 24s 24, then 0. Then continue for filling for S second row. For this S second row, how to fill? Consider the S third row and the S4 row. Neglect this one. Neglect this row. Now neglect this row. Go to the previous row. That is 8 multiplied by 12 minus 2 multiplied by 24 divided by 8. So you will get a value equal to 16. Similarly, 8 multiplied by 16 minus 2 into 0 or divided by 8. So it will be 16. Okay. Next term we don't have, so it will be 0 itself only. Next, coming to the next row, that is S1th row. For that, 6 multiplied by 24 and minus 8 into 16 divided by 6. So we get a value, that is a fraction value 2.67. Similarly, 6 multiplied by 0 minus 8 into 0 divided by 6, you will be getting a value equal to 0. 8. So it will be multiple of 0. So it will be 0. Next, for a S0th row, 2.67 multiplied by 16 minus 6 into 0 divided by 2.67. So it will be giving out you just 16. So we can see that now we are able to continue this problem till s to the 0th row. Okay. Now next, here we can see all these values that is in the first column we have to observe. That is in the first column we have to observe. So this is positive value. This is also positive value. This is also positive value. And here the new one is also positive. This is also positive. But this is also positive. And here also it is positive. So no sign changes. Hence the system is stable. But as we had used the auxiliary equation, we need to solve for the auxiliary equation. We need to solve for the auxiliary equation. So for solving the auxiliary equation, what we use is, we use here this equation itself only. That is 2s to the power 4 12s square plus 16 equal to 0. So here this can be simplified by dividing throughout by 2. So it will be s to the power 4 6s square plus 8 equal to 0. Then put s square is equal to 4. We have to find out the roots of this equation. Hence to find out in calculator we don't have s to the power 4. So what we do, put s square is equal to 4. We get s square is 4, so it will be y square plus here s square is y, so s square is equal to y, put s square is equal to y, so y to the power 2 you'll get 6y plus 8 equal to 0. Solve this quadratic equation. This equation you get y is equal to minus 4 and minus 2. So as s square is equal to y, so y will be, to find out s, take the root of this one. So root of minus 4 will be plus or minus j2, and root of minus 2 will be plus or minus j of root 2. So from this one we can see these two roots are going to lie, these roots are going to lie on the j-axis, and they are non-repetitive. So no repeated roots are on the j-axis. Hence this will be giving not only just stable, hence this can be called as a marginally stable type of a system. Okay. Next, route stability criterion has various advantages. The advantages of a routes array are as follows. The stability of system can be judged without actually solving the characteristic equation, which we have observed. Then no evaluation of determinants, which saves the calculation time. For an unstable system, it gives a number of roots of a characteristic equation having a positive real part. Relative stability of the system can be easily judged. By using the criterion, critical values of a system gain can be determined. Hence, frequency of sustained oscillation can be determined. And moreover, it will be helping in finding out the range of the values of k for system stability. How to find out the values of k for system stability, that we will be discussing in solving the root locus problem. There I will help you to understand how to find out the values of k. And it will help in finding out the intersection point of root locus with the imaginary axis. That is what I have told you. To find out the intersection axis also, in case of a root locus array, there we use this route array method. Next, limitations of this criterion, that is Route's criterion. It is valid for real coefficients of a characteristic equation only. it does not provide exact location of the closed loop poles in the left or right half, which you have observed. So it will tell you whether based on the number of sign changes, whether they are going to be on the right half of S plane or a left half of a S plane, whether it is stable or unstable. It does not suggest method of stabilizing any instability. If there is an instability in the problem, so if we have recognized it is unstable, can we make any changes in that one and bring it to stability? Can it do? No, it is not having that particular option. And moreover, it is only applicable to a linear type of a system. Okay. Thank you. For any queries or for any suggestions, you can contact me at my contact address, that is naveen.kalal@canaraengineering.in. Thank you.